Hi Owlies, welcome back, and in today's video I'll be talking about a backstory. Now, I know this is very unlike the stuff I usually post, but I've been thinking about one thing that keeps appearing in game after game. I'm talking about the Headless Horseman, and if you think about it, various games have this one character in their Halloween updates, but I'm not talking about why they add him, I'm talking about why he's headless in the first place. I went in and looked at a few games, and I've collected info that the Headless Horseman appears in the following games: Adopt Me, My Restaurants, and presumably a lot of other games. I decided to go further and take a look at Wikipedia. The description of the Headless Horseman states, "The Headless Horseman is a mythical figure who has appeared in folklore and around the world since the Middle Ages. The figure is traditionally depicted as a man upon horseback who is missing his head. Examples include the Dullahan from Ireland, who is a demonic fairy, usually depicted riding a horse and carrying his head under his arm." Also, under a source, it claims that he's a ghost. If he's a ghost, that means he's dead, which leads to my guess that the Headless Horseman could actually be a parish guard or something relevant to that idea. It makes sense because this time is in the Middle Ages, as I stated earlier. Now let's actually talk about his headlessness, head-no-ness, whatever we call it. Let's just talk about him not having a head. Considering that everyone watching this has a strong understanding of the Middle Ages, you should then understand that they used very frightful ways of killing people back then. So I went to my browser and searched Headless Horseman history and got this result. The Headless Horseman is a fictional character from the 1820s short story The Legend of Sleepy Hollow by American author Washington Irving. The story from Irving's collection of short stories entitled The Sketchbook of Geoffrey Crayon Ghent has worked itself into known American folklore/legend through literature and film, including the 1999 Tim Burton film Sleepy Hollow. I decided that I'd heard enough of The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, therefore I decided to read it. From link, it states, "The legend of the Headless Horseman, also known as the Headless Hessian of the Hollow, begins in Sleepy Hollow, New York, during the American Revolutionary War. Traditional folklore holds that the Horseman was a Hessian trooper who was killed during the Battle of White Plains in 1776. He was decapitated by an American cannonball, and then the shattered remains of his head were left on the battlefield while his comrades hastily carried his body away. Eventually, they buried him in the cemetery of Old Dutch Church in Sleepy Hollow, from which he rises as a malevolent ghost furiously seeking his lost head. Modern versions of the story refer his rise to Halloween, around which time the battle took place." The American Revolutionary War? A Hessian trooper decapitated by a cannonball? That's a lot to take in, so I'll put it in a simpler manner. The Headless Horseman was basically a Hessian trooper in the Battle of White Plains in 1776. While he was fighting, he was decapitated by an American cannonball. Nowadays, he awakens from his grave angrily searching for his lost head. I went ahead and looked up the Battle of White Plains and got this info. The Battle of White Plains was a battle in New Jersey campaign of the American Revolutionary War fought on October 28, 1776, near White Plains, New York. Following the retreat of George Washington's Continental Army northward from New York City, British General William Howe landed troops in Westchester County, intending to cut off Washington's escape route. Alerted to this move, Washington retreated farther, establishing a position in the village of White Plains, but failed to establish firm control over local high ground. Howe's troops drove Washington's troops from a hill near the village. Following this loss, Washington ordered the Americans to retreat farther north. So, as a conclusion, the Headless Horseman was a Hessian trooper who fought in the Battle of White Plains in 1776. During the war, an American cannonball decapitated him, leaving him to die. But the problem is, the Middle Ages ended in the 1500s, but the battle took place in 1776? What do you guys think about this? How would you compare the age problem? Do you think the Headless Horseman exists? Let me know in the comments. Also, before you guys go, make sure to subscribe. Remember to like if you want more backstories or theories. See you all next time. Bye, guys.